Welcome to our new series, Deep Dive into the Now. My name is Didi Povernick, and I'm the Invincible CEO, and welcome to the Invincible CEO YouTube channel. This series is all about putting you into the experience of the now, because we do a lot of talking about the different concepts and the different techniques about manifestation and becoming more and more present. So this series is going to be broken into two different parts. Either we're going to be focusing on presence or awareness. But it's important to understand that both are always engaged. The awareness is what we would call your subconscious mind, and the presence is what we would call your conscious mind. And we're going to always be bringing them two together in harmony. So the more that they are in harmony, the more present and aware you are in the now. The most important thing to understand is that if you are thinking, you are not in the now moment, because the now moment does not need your thought. It just needs your focused awareness. When we talk about the law of gender, the male and female energy, presence is the active male energy, and awareness is the passive female energy. So for today's video, I'm going to walk you through an experience, and we're going to use your breath. So what I'd like you to do is get yourself into a seated position, very, very comfortable. Make sure nothing is crossed. Don't cross your feet, don't cross your arms, and just be as loose and free as possible. So give yourself a few moments if you need to pause the video to really get in a comfortable position. If you need your back supported, that's okay. If you want to sit in a meditative position, that's okay. If you want to lay down, actually, that's okay too. However you want to do this. And we're going to focus on the breath. And today, we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you do breathe in through the nose, I want you to take the biggest breath in. We're going to hold it, and then you're going to breathe out through the mouth. But when you're breathing out through the mouth, I want you to make like a sound, like you're fogging up a glass or mirror. And it's going to be very important that you make the noise. And I don't know why this happens, but sometimes when we do these breathing exercises, people are embarrassed to make the noise. It is okay, because that's where the focus and attention is. So just doing the breathing here for this exercise is not going to be enough for you to really be very, very present. Okay. I'm not going to focus too much on counting if it's 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4. I want you to take the deepest breath in, hold it for a second or two, and then breathe out through the mouth. So let's do this together, right? This is bringing you deeper in the now moment, because you don't need to think. You're totally understanding my instructions, and we're going to do this together. All right, so get ready. I want you to breathe in through the nose. Hold it. And now slowly breathe out. Now, right away, because this is different breathing than what you're normally doing shallow breathing. You've already put the focus on a deeper breath, but I'm going to show you now that even though that was different, because that's all anything ever is to the subconscious mind, there's no good or bad, there's no right or wrong, there's only different. So now we already got the subconscious mind's attention, because it's a moment of cognitive dissonance. It's a moment where you came off the script of regular shallow breathing. We always say the subconscious mind is always impressed, because it's the one that's offering you the options. What we're really doing is becoming more present and aware in the now moment with the conscious mind. But we're going to take this breath a little deeper now into the now, because even though you may say to yourself, oh, wow, I was much more present with that breath than my regular breathing, we're going to get even deeper in presence with the breathing. So now what I'd like you to do, we're going to do the deep breath again, same way we did it before, but you may not have been aware the first time of the air coming into your nose. So this time, when you take that breath in, go a little slower, and I want you to feel the air passing through your nose. Okay, let's do it. We're going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Hold. So that first time we did it, we became more aware that we were breathing deep. We made noise. So we heard the breath going out. That brought us a little bit more present than our regular breathing. But now we took the focus and we went a little deeper into the now moment, and we focused on not only feeling the air come through the nose, and ask yourself now, how is breath 2 different than breath 1? Right? Because we already know what our normal breathing is, so we knew how different breath 1 was. Now we have breath 2, and we have that bigger focus of the air coming in the nose, and also the noise as you're relieving and you're releasing the air out of your mouth. So now let's go a little deeper. Not only are we going to take a deep breath, we're going to make the noise when it comes out of our mouth. We're going to be aware of it coming in through the nose. And you might even felt a little burn that last time. And you can always put comments in, how was breath 1 and breath 2 very different for you? I'd love to hear your feedback. Now we're on to breath 3. And we're going to go even deeper now in presence and awareness, because this is all we've been saying in all the other videos. If you give your conscious mind a job to do, it's like a little puppy dog. It really wants to honor you. And when you're giving your conscious mind a job to do, it doesn't go off on other tangents or allows other echoes to come in that are unnecessary for the now moment, and all thought is unnecessary for the now moment. So what we're really doing here is we're syncing up both of our minds, the subconscious mind that's already impressed and the conscious mind that's being given a job. This is what manifestation, becoming more and more present in the now moment, okay? All right, so now for breath 3, we're going to listen as we breathe out. We're going to focus on the nose as we breathe in. But now I want you to add another layer of attention. I want you to really feel your chest cavity expand. Even though it's been doing it all along, I want you to become more aware of it with breath number 3. Okay, let's go. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. In. Hold. And so what we're doing here is getting you very aware of the center dot in your reality, which is the physical body, right? You believe you have a body. This is your body. And we're bringing you more present in the now moment, because as you're understanding and taking the steps that I'm giving you, you're becoming very aware of your subconscious mind, because the conscious mind gets the command and the subconscious delivers, right? So when I said to you, be aware of breathing in through your nose, your subconscious mind is the automatic breath in. The conscious mind is directing how long. We want a longer breath. And then we're putting the conscious awareness on the breath into the nose, the chest cavity expanding, because it's always been expanding, but now you're more aware of it, and the noise as you're breathing out. And the more you practice this, because we can continue, and I do that in my programs, we go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the breath, giving more and more instructions to the conscious mind. And as you're doing this, everything else starts to disappear, because that's the point of focus. That's what we're flooding our consciousness with in this moment. Nothing else matters right now. And I highly recommend doing this video over and over and over again, because we are taking a deeper dive into the now, using the breath, because all there is, you can't breathe 5 minutes from now. You can't breathe in yesterday. All you're ever doing is breathing now. And that's why this is going to be such a powerful tool when you have a monkey mind that won't shut down. Doing these 3 deep breaths, or 4 or 5 or 6, because we can go on and on and on. We'll do one more. I'll throw in an extra bonus one, because 4 is foundation, right? We're creating that square. Square is a really good foundation shape. So, and now I want every time that you see square to think about foundation. We're building foundation here. Okay. So now you're going to take the 4th deep breath, and you're going to pay attention to it coming in your nose, and you're going to pay attention to your chest expanding, and you're going to pay attention to the breath out. But now this is a little bit more subtle, so I really want you to be aware. In this breath, I want you to feel the air, because it's all been happening simultaneous, right? It's not happening in order. It's all happening simultaneous, because the breath happens so quickly. But I want you to feel the air going down after you breathe it in the nose, going down the throat as the chest cavity expands. And this one takes a little bit more practice because you can be very aware of it coming in the nose and you can be very instantly aware of the chest expanding, but you have to be super aware to start to feel it go down the throat. And initially, it may kind of make your conscious mind go a little haywire. That's okay if it does that. But this is where practice and discipline comes in. The more you do this, the more subtleties that you're not aware of that are happening, you become aware of. And when you start to become aware of the subtleties happening within your body, you then become more and more aware of the subtleties happening outside here. And that's how your subconscious mind is always speaking to you. Everything is always right here, right now. It's just how conscious and aware. So the more you go in through the breath and awareness, the more it gets pushed out, because literally thinking about this, everyone and everything is you pushed out. When you're pushing your breath out, you are literally pushing out with the breath the world that you want to manifest. You're literally blowing up your balloon so that you're putting the breath of life into your reality, and that's all you've ever been doing. So if you ever really want a deeper understanding of everyone as you pushed out, and we'll get into that later in some of our other examples, you are literally pushing out your breath. You're bringing in the air, processing it through your physical body, which is your center dot, and then pushing it back out into your reality, breathing life into the assumption that you are operating in. How exciting is that? All right, so let's get ready for this breath 4. And then what I'm going to do at the end of this video is we're going to do it one more time, but we're going to do all 4 breaths in a row. And we're going to go back to how we originally did it, just focusing on the breath out first. But you're going to see that once you're aware, you can't just go back to the original breath 1. That's the really cool thing. If I say to you right now, are you aware that your butt is touching the chair? You were aware of that before, but now you're super aware of it. And if I say to you, try to become unaware of it, you can't. So the more we try to undo something, so that's why we have to let the space and time and put our focus and attention somewhere else. And then that no longer is a point of focus. Okay, so let's get ready for breath 4. Ready? All right, get nice and loose. Stay loose with this. And breathe in and go. Now, did you feel the air? And it's okay if you felt it coming through the nose and you felt the chest expanding and then you felt the air down the throat, right? It's really, really subtle. But with practice, you'll feel the air coming in through the nose simultaneously going. And we're not looking for the mind to chop it up because they're all happening instantly. It's just learning how to expand your awareness so that it's not going in step 1, step 2, step 3, like how we did it here, but going into the simultaneousness of the now, knowing that it's always been happening that way. And again, whatever we're doing here is adding on to you. So if you got it, that's wonderful. If it's going to take a little practice, then that's just where you are. And that is okay too. And sometimes even when you're well practiced in it, it may take a couple breaths before you realize it. That happens to me sometimes. So that's okay. This is not about getting an A on a test and getting it right all the time. It's about learning how to be present in the now moment within your own body. And you're doing an amazing job because you're here. Let's just recap what we did today. We are using the breath in the now moment. We took ourselves from our regular shallow breathing and we took the first deep breath. And whether you realize it or not, because I didn't directly tell you to focus on the breath out noise, but I added it there and gave you a reason why you should do it and not be embarrassed to be doing it. Because 3 deep breaths is always what you need to recenter to your ground zero. We'll get to that in a minute. Then the second breath, what we did is we really started to focus on the air coming in through the nose. And you knew it was coming in before, but you didn't feel it that way. And every time we've done it since, you felt it that way. And then we focused on the chest expanding in the third breath, because showing you that you can have multiple points of focus in the now moment because they're all happening simultaneous, and be aware of them, even though it seems like it goes through the nose, the chest expands, and then we breathe out, right? All of it's happening simultaneous because we're really slowing it down for this example. And then the fourth one that we did, we really added a subtle one of feeling the air going down the throat. It almost makes you do a little swallow type of thing. So I'm not asking you to bring in a swallow because you may not do that. For most people, that happens. But really just feeling, and you can start visualizing that air flowing down your throat, because the more you focus now on the throat, because you have the other ones kind of locked in, you'll start to feel that more and more as that expands. And as it goes out, of course, you're going to hear the noise and you feel it moving through your lips as you're blowing up your reality. Okay, so this is always a point of discernment. And what I wanted to share here is that when what's happening in the now moment, because all that's happening is happening and it doesn't need a story. If birds are chirping, you don't have to say birds are chirping, it's redundant because you're already aware that birds are chirping. So, and no thought is needed in the now moment because the now moment is all about your pure existence. So now what I want to do with you is we're going to take these 4 deep breaths. But what I'm going to say to you is whenever you're presented in the now moment with something unwanted or something that's stirring up some other energy, before you start labeling what that energy is, because all that's happening is sensation in your body, right? You felt air through your nose. You felt your chest expanding. It's all sensation. That's all we want you to understand. Whether you're feeling what you would call hunger, you're first feeling a sensation that you call hunger, right? If you're tired, you're feeling a sensation that you call tired. But all you're doing is feeling a sensation and then you're putting a label on top of it. So we're stopping the labels now, and anything that you're going to experience in your body, you're just going to call it a sensation. And we'll get deeper into that in future videos. But let's now take the moment to do these 4 deep breaths in a row. And really, all you need is 3. The fourth is the bonus. So whenever the mind is going crazy in the now moment, or there's a scenario that's going on that you really need to ground and center yourself, these 3 to 4 deep breaths will pull you out of the character and allow you to ground into zero so that you can say from that point on, you have a neutral point and you've made a new decision, right? We've talked about if you're unaware of ground zero or 0 point, there's plenty of videos on the channel that you can watch to see. Okay, so now let's get ready for those 4 deep breaths in a row. We're going to take them nice and slow like we've been doing. And again, I want you to become deeper and deeper aware of the sensations in your body. Nothing else matters in this now moment except this point of focus. And you're really learning how now you're marrying the subconscious mind and the conscious mind together, and how you are the operant power. You're the band leader. You're the CEO that's orchestrating this beautiful dance between the two, and you as the awareness are experiencing what is happening in presence. Okay? All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. And just take a moment to reflect now how much more calm you feel, how much more centered you feel. Can you even tell how I'm speaking a little bit differently than I was a few moments ago? It really is a gift that you give yourself. So, what I would suggest today is to keep this in your awareness as every hour on the hour, to set an alarm. When that alarm goes off, practice these 4 deep breaths. And at any other time during the course of your day, that something comes to you, we talk about those 3D circumstances, those unwanted 3D circumstances. Use this to recenter yourself, to get yourself to that point of calm, and knowing that when you come out of it, you'll be a different version of you, a different identity, that whatever's happening is no longer bothering and it's really not worth your attention. I just wanted to throw this in real quick that if you enjoyed today's experience about going deeper in the now moment, becoming more present and more aware, I'm going to invite you to join our membership channel. I'm going to be bringing lots of experiential videos to help you take the concepts that we talk about on the main channel and that you may see on other channels in YouTube and bring it into an experiential practice for you. So for example, the video that would go hand in hand with what we've just discussed today is now taking this breathing technique and show you how I use it when I do my active imaginal acts and passive imaginal acts so that they don't seem like they're just surface level. And I know that when I step away from that imaginal act, there's nothing else I need to do. I'm satisfied and complete that it is active within my consciousness. I'm very excited to help bring you into the experience as you're unfolding what it is that you've chosen and how not to waver and stay within your wish fulfilled, your done deal. So if that's something you're interested in, check the subscribe button, go look at the options. I'd love to have you over there. Okay, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed our deeper dive into the now moment. This was definitely a presence exercise because we were actively doing something while we were aware of it. We will do other exercises where it's really more pure awareness, but right now we got you centered in the body, in the breath, because this is your ground zero. This is your center dot. This is where all of your life takes place, right here, right now in the moment and in this body. Come back tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time for our next edition. Please like the video. Please feel free to share the video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, you're not going to want to miss any video in this series. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Thank you again for coming here. My name is Didi Pavrnik. I am the Invincible CEO. And all I want to do is see you win, win big, and win all the time because manifestation is easy and fun. And you are the operant power. And it's about time for you to enjoy the unfolding into your wish fulfilled.